Shabbat Shalom. This week's parasha is Emor, found in the book of Leviticus, beginning with chapter 21. It contains laws about the Kohanim, the priests, and restrictions on their behavior. It also includes something called Seder HaMoadim, a list of the festivals and sacred occasions that are celebrated by Jews. But I want to focus on a particular verse that is within this parasha. You shall not profane my holy name, that I may be sanctified in the midst of the people. From this verse, we learn about Chilul Hashem, desecrating God's name, and Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying God's name. On the surface of it, it might seem that the Torah is telling us to refrain from speaking negatively about God, perhaps because God wishes to be exalted and not defamed. The verse actually says that I may be sanctified in the midst of the people. That would be one understanding of a Chilul Hashem, a desecration of God's name, speaking ill of God specifically. And its opposite, Kiddush Hashem, would also be true, the act of making God's name holy in the way we speak and refer to God. Often, Kiddush Hashem has been understood as an act of martyrdom, making God's name holy by sacrificing one's life. That's a historical idea, which nobody welcomes, but it has been known in the course of Jewish history to have a role. But there's another way of understanding Chilul Hashem and Kiddush Hashem. When we openly identify as Jews, whatever we do in public is a reflection, not only on ourselves as individuals, but it's also a reflection on the entire Jewish people. The Talmud makes this point. In Tractate or Masechet Yoma, if someone studies Torah and performs acts of goodness and kindness, what do people say of him? They say, how wonderful that he studied Torah, for look where it led him. If someone studies Torah and performs acts that are reprehensible and unethical, what do people say of her? Look where the Torah led her. That's why both Chilul Hashem and Kiddush Hashem are considered to be essentially public acts. What we do when we are alone matters as a sign of our character, but only our public behavior can change people's views of what it means to be a Jew. When a person who is openly Jewish does something terrible in public, whether it be a white-collar crime like financial misconduct or any other criminal act, I cringe, for the consequence is not only felt by that person, but the reputation of the Jewish people could be muddied. One rabbi taught that the word chilul, desecration, literally means to fill a vacuum. Someone known to be Jewish who commits a crime or does something terrible in public fills the vacuum in people's minds about what it means to be a Jew, in the same way that a positive act speaks well not just for us as individuals, but for the Jewish people as a whole. So when there is a vacuum, whether we like it or not, whether we care or not what other people think of us or of the Jewish people, let's be mindful to fill the vacuum, the open minds that people have about what it means to be Jewish, with only positive choices. I hope you'll join us for Shabbat Tefillah Friday night at 6 p.m., Shabbat morning at 9:45 a.m. Shabbat Shalom.